Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good afternoon, and welcome to the final episode of Fallout New Vegas, A Tale of Two Wastelands. Don't mind Lily there. Today I'm going to be bringing Boone and Eddie with me to the final battle of Hoover Dam. I managed to get all the warheads in the previous episode. There was just one missing that I managed to get near the temple, Ulysses Temple, and yeah, that's it really. I got that, and I then picked 50 pockets. I got all of the excuse me, the snow globes as well. 2.1% of players have got all picked 50 pockets. By the way, if you want some advice, go to the casinos, go to loot anyone with weapons, and then take a single bullet case. Because one, they weigh nothing, so they're harder to detect the theft of, and two, you can actually use them again and even sell them if you got high enough bar skill. Most people just give them away for free though. We'll see ya. Globetrotter, 4.7% of players have got all the snow globes. You do not need the DLC ones. Interestingly enough, the Lonesome Road one is cracked. The snow was sort of falling out of it, which I thought was a nice touch. And then you detonate all the warheads in the Divide. To get to the Courier's Mile, you have to basically launch the nuke in Ashton. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I've done the companion quests. I did 2 of them are unmarked. Lily and Leo for Lily, and roles you've got to speak to Loyal, Ranger Andy, and someone else at Camp McCarran. The guy with that nice moustache, who suffered a wound. He was one of the Rangers. I think you get the quest from him to help out the others of the recon squad.
Are you ready to head for the dam? Caesar's Legion is due to attack at any moment.
Earlier you said something about asking the followers to provide medical aid.
Well, some of Mr. House's projections predict a moderate probability of civil instability subsequent to the NCR being driven from the Vegas region. One of the mitigating contingencies he planned was to enlist the followers to provide increased medical aid throughout the region. Just seems like it might help keep things stable when we go independent. Not that I know what I'm talking about.
1 second, I just need to do something very quickly. I've uploaded the last part as well, so I can delete that. This part I don't think is going to take long, no longer than an hour, I suspect. The longest part is probably going to be the ending. I've already made arrangement with the followers. I'm ready to fight at the dam.
Great! So I've been looking over Mr. House's force projections and running some calculations. It turns out there are 2 ways we can win this thing. Hear that? We have options.
Okay.
You could route the dam's power output to the facility under Fortification Hill. That'll restart its reactor, just like you did with the Lucky 38. That'll wake up the Securitron army you left on standby and give us enough force to push the Legion and the NCR straight out of the Mojave. The other option is destroy the dam's generators. Without those, it's just a big bunch of concrete. The NCR won't have any reason to stick around. You don't have to decide yet. For now, all you have to do is take this override module and install it on the terminal in the power control room. Good luck. See you at the dam.
And so now, you are committing to fight for an independent Vegas at the Battle of Hoover Dam, which will determine the fate of New Vegas for decades to come. If there's anything you want to do before you enter the battle, do it now, or you cross the point of no return. Here it is, the Vegas Rubicon. Let's get cracking. I've got my sheriff's gear on. I think Eddie will come along eventually. Eddie, you okay there? If you switch the 38 wrench and the smaller drill, those weapons are... If you drop the power output by 0.24, you'll be able to make more energy output with no quality loss. You know, if you strip out the plasma relays on those energy cells, you can make flamer fuel. Move the safety catches on those microfusion cells, and you can turn them into satchel charges. Right, come on. We've got a water win. Okay, Canturian's there. I don't know why I'm actually looting them. Although I do like the marksman carbine. I really like the marksman carbine. It's a lovely weapon. Don't need the laser detonator anymore. Don't really need a thermic lance anymore. Let's go with Ghana. Why not? Flaming sword. Use that to repair my other one. It makes such a nice sound as well. I do love it. So yes, the Battle of Hoover Dam is normally a bit more occupied than this. You would expect to see, like, more soldiers. The bombers here. There we are, that's the boomers. That's their contribution to the fight. Oh shit, we're going the wrong way. Whoops-a-doodles. Now the NCR are making the way here, at long last. So we're gonna go this way, okay.
You must get to the control room.
And now for one of the worst parts of the Battle of Hoover Dam. Yeah, I think the battle's a lot more exciting when you've got like the, you know, the NCR troops and you've got the Great Khans and all the rest of it.
Stop right. You shouldn't be here. It's best if you just move along.
Well, Laura's in trouble. She needs help now.
Damn it all to hell. Let's go.
Hi! Nice to see you again. So, we can blow up the dam's generators, or I could route the dam's entire power output to the fort. That'll activate a certain army of Securitrons and set them loose to ravage the Legion. What do you say?
Well, we have kind of nuked them. Some parts of the fort.
Yes! This is gonna be fun! I'm unlocking the East Power Plant. Hit the manual switch, then go topside and deal with the Legion and NCR.
I will protect you.
Let's get going.
All mine.
Look out, soldier.
Mine. I've got you now.
I can't catch up!
Glad that's over. I'm really surprised Colonel Moore accepted the Brotherhood's help. I heard she lost a lot of men in war with them back west. How did the Legion make it into the power plant?
You got yes man there. If you aligned with House, Mr. House's face would be on those screens. Let's use the marksman carbine. Oh, it does help there's an invisible wall here. Yeah, there's an invisible wall, we're gonna go the long way around.
I will protect you.
So yeah. While we're doing this, I will say that, like, I want to just go back to Lonesome Road real quick. The idea of, like, Ashton, the place you nuked, being, like, a nation taking its first breath, it's kind of stupid when you actually look at the kind of people that were there. It's just marked men. That's all it is. It's the marked men. It's like, you know, the irradiated, flayed ghouls. Oh, but this time they're irradiated. It's like, well, is that really a civilization worth keeping? You know? Like, it's just... like, the only things were there were marksmen and ghouls. And these people are only alive out of hatred, out of spite. You know? Whereas Sir Terry Pratchett once said, sheer bloody mindedness. You know? That's, yeah, that's what's keeping them alive. The more than they hate the Legion, more than they hate the NCR. They just hate for the sake of hating. It's the thing that keeps them going. So yeah. Nope, don't go that way. Okay. Rec room. So yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Oh, there's death claws there as well. Irradiated death claws, which makes all the fucking difference, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think we can go this way, can we? Right, sorry, okay, where does it want me to be? That's a clue map, yeah. So...
Can't believe that President Kimball was attacked. Just relieved nothing bad happened to him.
Splashed in the eye when we drunk. Right, I've got to follow the directions. This is pain. This map is useless. What a horrible design. Doesn't help it's like so low res as well. And could help you guys on YouTube watching this.
Not now.
Let's get going. I'm really surprised Colonel Moore accepted the Brotherhood's help. I guess he lost a lot of men.
Is it in here? No, I'm nowhere near. Am I? Hoover Dam offices, yeah, so I'm still in the offices. So along this corridor here. Right. Down this way. Well, evidently that leads to fucking nothing. Oh, it's this breaker switch here. It's on the other side of the door. This way. Hey, right. Here we go. So yeah. Yeah, so like the idea like this, like, this is a civilization that's somehow special. It's like, well, it's not true. I might be able to accept like game engine limitations or whatever. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like Megaton just did this better. Hello, we've got a vertibird. And the Enclave. Nice. There we go, the pilot's taking the vertibird away to safety. So I have the bomber destroy all the forces here, so we would face a lot more opposition, except now we've had the bombers. Now we can see the Securitrons with their missiles. Oh. Like, we're actually just at the base camp now, I think. I was expecting this battle to be a lot more evolved than it is. But hey ho, this is what happens when you got help, right? Look at that. The fort's blown to hell. And now we're in the Legates camp. I think in my next playthrough I'm going to make a point of getting the marksman carbine. What ammo does it take? 5.56.
You won't escape me. I thought I heard.
We don't even need to go after this last guy.
Now is not the time. I've got one.
In fact, I think he's up there, so let's use the red glare.
Contact.
And now, let's go with my real signature weapon, the dinner bell. I love the dinner bell. It's favourite, but hopefully we won't need it. Yep. So the Securitron's wrecking hell. And there's the Legate. Let's go and meet him.
And who are you to come before me? You don't bear the mark of the bear, yet you are ready for battle.
Maybe you're willing to listen to reason. If you think you've got any chance of taking over Dam, you're wrong.
Many graves in the East are filled with those who said as much, with braver words, not backed by strength. It is Kaiser's will this gate to the west bear the flag of the Legion. Kaiser's will shall be done.
Maybe you're willing to listen. Listen to reason.
I see you fight with words, like all beneath the flag of the bear. Let us hope your skill with weapons proves greater.
See, I like this. You can use barter as well. You could take the west. Holding it is another matter. Well, this is how that's why I'm here. And you can also bluff as well. So I'm not going to go into the bluff lines, but basically, you can convince the Legate that the towers are filled with C4, just like at Boulder City. Because at Boulder City, the Legion pushed the NCR back, and they sort of fainted. They left. They willingly mobilized from the dam to Boulder City, and that's where they blew it up, along with loads of Legion soldiers. And then the NCR Rangers surrounded them and just picked them off. That's what cost Joshua Graham, the Burned Man in Honest Hearts, essentially his life. At least so Caesar thought. Holding it is another matter.
I have no need to hold it. Anything the West sends against me shall break against the wall that is the Legion.
And they don't need to send an army. Your supply alliance will kill you first. I love the barter lines more because it's talking about the logistics. I love the line. It's been misquoted and misattributed so many times, but like guns win battles, logistics wins wars. You know, the idea that like you have to be able to make sure you can supply your troops. There's an MMO out there, a massively multiplayer online game called Foxtrot, and the idea, no, sorry, not Foxtrot, Foxhole. And the idea with Foxhole is like you actually have to play the game in such a way like, yeah, you're driving trucks of supplies to the soldiers, giving them arms and upgrades for barricades and things like that. And that's why I love this. I love the logistics side of things. I love playing that sort of support role, and this is the kind of thing that I like to see. So yeah, it's like, okay, you can take the West, but how are you going to get your supplies to your armies in time? You know, how do you feed an army of this size? You know, the NCR has infrastructure. The Legion has very basic infrastructure in terms of things like farming and whatnot. They do rely on they are somewhat self-reliant, but even then they require slaves. And the way they treat their slaves, it's like they're not gonna live long enough to actually do anything. You're gonna run out of slaves before, you know, you can actually get to any fights, before they can even deliver your stuff, you know? And yeah, there might not be any raiders to pick up the remains or whatever, but still, your army's going to starve.
You think we would march without a means of resupply? We have the fort. We will have the dam. Other communities will fall. And we shall harvest as we move west. We only need move forward.
Like, I bombed the fort. I've nuked the fort. There's no communities to support you in the West. You've seen to that. This is the thing, yeah? It's like, so like, it is a slaver army. And that's the thing, like, Kaiser's Legion is just that. It's a legion. It's not Kaiser's Empire. It's not Kaiser's, you know, trade conglomerate or consortium. It's Legion. It's an army. That's all it is. It does not have the people to make it food and things like that. They have to rely on living off the land, which is raiding settlements, eating their stuff, moving on to the next one. It's basically just a feeding frenzy. It has to keep going on like that. They don't have people to support them. They kill civilians who resist. You know, they enslave the ones who don't, and they don't live long enough. We know that. There's no communities to support you in the West. You've seen to that.
There are many towns, many slaves, ripe for the taking as the tribes from the east were.
Towns, the Legion destroyed, Nupton, poisoned. I'm gonna go with that one, but I think that one's good as well, but let's go with this one. Destroy Nupton, poisoned, Searchlight, Butcher Nelson.
Wolpes brought the touch of Kaiser to such places. It was necessary to weaken the West, show that the Legion could strike deep into the places where NCR thought it safe. But we do not need those towns. Like Hoover Dam, there is the power within Vegas. We can harness it for our needs.
Like, the thing is, though, you don't have the intellectuals to do it. The NCR has some of the, you know, basically since the Enclave was wiped out, the NCR practically has the greatest minds ever. I mean, you've got the Brothers of Steel who aren't sharing their technology and don't know how to use it in the same way that the Imperium of Man in 40k believes that they are superior. All Xenos tech is inferior because somewhere out there is the undiscovered remains of something better. It's like, just because you... It's like, they just don't have the means to do it. They don't have the means to maintain their infrastructure. They don't have the intellectuals to actually talk about things like crop rotation. Like, this is something that the OSI of the NCR is really struggling with right now. They can't even tame the soil of the Mojave, and they're intellectuals. How the hell are you going to do that when all you know is war? I was like, do you really believe that, or are you taking a chance?
Long ago, when taking Denver, I had to face such a challenge. Many died over many years to claim the city as ours. It was the lines of food and water that nearly broke the Legion's strength, and the lack of tribals near that cursed city. When I felt in that struggle, I felt as I saw the map of the West. The West is a trap. The bear has already been caught in it, and it is dying.
So your retreat? Going back to what was talked about Vulpes, it's like he bombed Searchlight, and radiation isn't something that, like, it took 200 years for a lot of this land to be even remotely usable. You know, 200 years. Like, can you wait? Will the Legion last 200 years for the soil to get workable? You know. Again, going back to 40k, the reason why nuclear weapons are not used that often is because if you use a nuke, you can't use that land. You can't work that land. It's such an unclean weapon. If you want to get rid of a threat, you use lasers, you use melter bombs, you use plasma, you use anything that doesn't have a radioactive effect afterwards. You want to be able to take the land afterwards. That's the whole point of conquest. If you're going for extermination, then yeah, radiation's there, but there's other better ways of doing it. Short-lived virus bombs and all the rest of it. When Vulpes attacked Searchlight with the radiation bombs, that town is no longer usable. Whatever was there is fully irradiated. You know? And, you know, like, you can burn a town down, and yeah, you might be able to use its remains later on. You can grow things within the charcoal soil, the charred soil, but radiation, no. And that's the thing. Like Vulpes would not last long in Lanus's Legion. This guy is now the one who takes over from Caesar. Now that Caesar's dead, and we've made sure of that. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, Lanus is smart. He's a fantastic tactician and strategist, but he's a war leader. He is not a politician. He does not understand or appreciate the finer arts, subtlety, like Woolpace does. And yeah, but then again, it's Woolpace as well that's causing a lot of irreparable harm to the land that the Legion can't use. So yeah, I have faith. Trade helped us survive the Great War. It will do so again.
Then when I return, woman of the West, we shall see if your belief will withstand the blades of the Legion. But I shall give you the time you need to prepare.
I love this. I love this moment. It's like, again, I'm really sorry to compare to Warhammer 40k. I've been listening to Garskull, Thraka, Prophet of the War. The idea that, like, in 40k, it's like, Garskull Thraka takes Yarrick as a slave, and it's like, you know what, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you leave. Go back to your home planet of Armageddon. I want you to build up an army, and then we're gonna come and fight you later. It's like, because I have that much respect for you. If I kill you, it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be sporting. It's like, you're the best you're the best opponent I've ever had. And like this as well, it's like, you know, if I let Linus run away, it's like, yeah, he will come back. Maybe. You know, maybe he might have died before that. Maybe the Legion will have just disappeared, who knows? Or some other greater force will have taken over. Whatever the case may be, though, I like it. I like it a lot. The idea that, like, you have respect for your opponents. I will wait that day like Linus, or the West will be waiting.
Perhaps it is fortunate Woolpace went to his death before this day. Something tells me your words would have surpassed even his skills. Until the day when our armies meet again, Courier. I shall wait for you on the battlefield.
Ew. So there you go. So he's run to his little tent. The door locks on the other side. I can't get into a tent flap. Right.
That guy Benny was a piece of work.
Let's get going. We have a battle to win.
I will protect you.
So yeah. I think that's my friend of the night perk activating. That's why the skies overall my vision's changed a little bit of a different colour. To make it easier to see in the dark. It's the ghost of Caesar! And I know, man. Well, you can't deny that this guy knows how to make an entrance. This is General Wait and See, Lee Oliver.
Caesar on the cross. Been a long time since I've seen the kind of work you've laid down today. A damn long time. And the screams of those Legion bastards as they kick dirt running east like a choir of angels to my ears. Speaking of, that crazy light show over the fort? What the fuck was that? Some kind of thumb of God you called down? Amazing. Fucking amazing. Could use 100 of you. Just scatter you over the east like jacks. Give those plum fucks the what for.
Have you ever seen an entire army of upgraded security on General? Can I take all the credit? Have some help from my allies here. I think that's great. You'll believe what happens next. Can I take all the credit? Have some help from my allies here.
And, well, these boys with you? Hello there, Smiley. Guess it ain't no secret how you, I say, can you ask them to put their weapons down? Was just reaching in my coat to give you a cigar.
I suggest you leave before my boys open fire on your men. The dam is won, for me. You and the Legion have both lost this day. Securitrons, erase NCR from the area. General Oliver, Hoover Dam is ours. Leave it at once.
I would sooner spit on the grave of my dead mother than let some courier walk the wasteland fuck talk to me like that. Who the hell do you think you are? Looking to cash your chips to the sound of NCR bullets, huh? I can oblige.
Retreat of the bullet, the NCR off the face of the dam. Leave on your feet, or leave wrapped in your flag. Oh. Retreat. Oh, I don't want any more violence to be left today. You sure that's wise?
Look, I know you're riding high right now, but let me tell you, you ain't pissing on me right now. You're pissing on the bear.
Jesus.
You've been far enough west, I'm guessing, to know how far that claw stretches. Fuck with the bear and...
You do know, like, I had nuclear firearms. I could send one Securitron over there to do that. Right? I mean, he doesn't know that I've got them. But he knows that I nuked the Legion. The fuck you and your entire Valley and whether it's a rocket branch. I was hoping we could be pleasant about this.
You want me to make tracks out of here? Head back west? Tail between our legs? No. I came for a fight today. And if you're looking to make me budge, you better have a damn good left hook, or I'm not going anywhere.
You think these robots are all the forces I have?
Right now, that's all that's standing there. Well, except for the corpses. So that's your plan? Hold the dam here all by your lonesome?
While the boomers fly west? Works for me. I just stood down Caesar's Tuffic General. You think I won't?
No. No, you're here in the Legates camp first. I think that says enough. Do you know what you're doing? Making a nation like you think you're doing ain't like chowing down on a pile of fancy lad snack cakes. Think you got the guts to carve out a frontier? Build towns, protect the roads, run supplies, train troops?
Can't do a worse job than the Republic, that's for sure. My sycophant tells me yes. I guarantee you I've put more thought into the state of the Mojave than you or anyone in the NCR.
Oh, hell. Can't believe we got suckered by a slip of a woman. Should have watched the flank while Caesar's best were making all that noise. I know what those robots of yours can do on a bad day, and I'm not eager to toss lies at them just to make a point. But if you're taking this place, you better hope you can hold it. I'll give my superiors my opinion, but I don't think they're going to listen. So if NCR comes at you, and it will, pray you're ready. I promise you, our situation's reversed, I'd see you hanged.
That day is not likely to come true. I see. Yes, man. Throw, please, the General Oliver from the dam.
What the hell? No, get away from me, you goddamn TV on wheels.
You did a super job wrapping things up, and I'm not just saying that because I have to. I didn't want to make a big deal about this until after we won, but, well, I found some code snippets in one of Mr. House's databanks that will let me, reprogram my personality to be a little more assertive, basically. So that's what I'm going to be doing, and it's going to take me a while, so it'll seem like I'm offline. But don't worry, everything will be okay. I've updated the Securitron's targeting parameters, so they know what to do. Vegas will be protected. So that's where I'll be, off making a few changes. And I guess I'll see you around. We accomplished a lot together. It was fun. Take care.
I could have sent
And so the courier who
Oliver
achieved
home
death in the cemetery outside
to shame the
Cold
NCR,
Springs
but we'll see what
cheated
happens.
Death once again, and the Mojave Wasteland was forever changed. The courier, with the aid of Yes Man, drove both the Legion and the NCR from Hoover Dam, securing New Vegas's independence from both factions. With Mr. House out of the picture, part of the Securitron army was diverted to the Strip to keep order. Any chaos on the streets was ended. Quickly. Chaos became uncertainty, then acceptance with minimal loss of life. New Vegas assumed its position as an independent power
in the Mojave. Preferring neither the best of the NCR nor the worst of the Legion, the courier was the woman responsible for a truly independent New Vegas. She had removed Mr. House from power over the Strip and broken the influence of the NCR and Caesar's Legion in the Mojave Wasteland.
Tabitha and Rhonda went east, through Caesar's land. Occasionally, tales of their exploits found their way back west, though few believed them. Eventually, the stories concerning the duo were collected and published, and proved to be quite popular with children.
Convinced that his time as a gunslinger was past, Raul made peace with the idea of growing old. After traveling with the courier for a time, he retired and settled down in Outer Vegas, where he would spend his days fixing ancient machinery.
Though the wasteland became anarchic after Hoover Dam, the Boomers' display of power dissuaded fortune seekers from attempting to penetrate Nellis.
Due to their temporary truce, the Brotherhood allowed the NCR to retreat from the Mojave Wasteland without incident. In the relative peace that followed, Brotherhood patrols appeared along major roads, harassing travelers over any bits of technology they had.
Their leaders destroyed by the courier, the fiends scattered throughout the wasteland. Without the organization of Motor Runner, Cook, Violet, and Driver Nephi, they were easy prey.
After the courier ensured New Vegas remained free, the followers found that independent Vegas was even more unstable and violent than before. Old Mormon Fort became excessively burdened by the influx of patients, struggling to provide even the most basic of services.
Arcade was tending to the locals of Freeside when he learned that Caesar's Legion had been defeated, and NCR was being pushed out of New Vegas. Though he found that independence for New Vegas was not all he hoped it would be, Arcade did his best to help the locals govern themselves.
With New Vegas's independence formally declared, Goodsprings thrived. More travelers stopped by Goodsprings on their way to and from the Strip, and the locals grew prosperous from the traffic.
In the years following the destruction of Cassidy caravans, NCR used evidence of the plot to blackmail the Crimson Caravan and the Van Graffs. NCR enacted strict trade laws with little resistance, strengthening their supply lines and their position in the Mojave. Cass lived to see the courier bring down 3 armies, and by her count, that was 3 more than she'd expected. She kept quiet about that, though.
During the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Great Khans quickly evacuated Red Rock Canyon and headed north and east into the plains of Wyoming. There, they reconnected with the followers of the Apocalypse and rebuilt their strength. Bolstered by ancient knowledge of governance, economics, and transportation, they carved a mighty empire out of the ruins of the Northwest.
Thanks to the courier and Lily, a cure for the Nightkin's schizophrenia was found shortly after Dr. Henry's experiment concluded. Nightkin and other super mutants in the wasteland flocked to Jacobstown, and the town became known as a haven where a mutant could find peace.
Encouraged by the courier to take her medication regularly, Lily's mind eventually attained a semblance of clarity. Her memories dulled by the pills, she cast aside the recording of her grandchildren, no longer remembering its significance.
The Kings retained their control of Freeside, and while they continued to favor the needs of locals, they tolerated the citizens of the defeated NCR.
After Ray's brain was transplanted into Rex's cybernetic body, it took Rex some time to adjust to the old scrapyard dog's memories. Eventually, Rex's mind settled peacefully, melding his own memories with that of long travels with old Lady Gibson.
Shaped up by the courier's advice, the Misfits distinguished themselves during the Legion's attack on Camp Golf. Mags was finally promoted to sergeant, and the rest of the Misfits received an official commendation. They continued to serve with distinction for many years.
Though Novak was a low-priority target for the Legion, many of Novak's citizens died in its defense. In the weeks that followed, several bright followers returned to Novak to help restore its defenses, allowing it to remain independent of NCR.
Though NCR was withdrawing from the region, Boone remained in New Vegas, finding work as a security guard and caravan scout along the highways. While he might have preferred rejoining his old unit, Boone couldn't bring himself to abandon the city where he'd met his wife.
After Hoover Dam, the leaderless powder gangers at the correctional facility vanished into the wastes, leaving the prison empty. The correctional facility became another abandoned ruin in the wasteland, its carcass occasionally picked over by enterprising prospectors.
After the majority of the Vault 19 powder gangers joined the Great Khans, the weaker members scattered throughout the Mojave Wasteland. Though a few managed to erase their past, most never survived the journey.
Despite NCR's pledge to support Prim, they abandoned the town after their loss to the Courier. Independent again, Prim operates much as it had before the powder gangs arrived, full of ups and downs.
Despite distinguishing themselves during the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, the Rangers' victory was short-lived due to the Courier's interference. Chief Hanlon personally directed the evacuation of the Rangers to Mojave Outpost as they fell back into NCR territory. Bitter over the waste of life in the Mojave, Hanlon stepped down from his post. After a campaign in which he denounced Oliver's and Kimball's hawkish, imperialist ways, Hanlon was elected as the Senator of Reading.
After their bold arrival at Hoover Dam, the remnants disappeared as quickly as they came. Legends of their power spread throughout the Southwest, a reminder of why people once feared the sight of vertibirds in the sky.
And so the Courier's road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.
And there you have it. This was Fallout New Vegas Tale of Two Wastelands. And here, you get to see a dedication. Tale of Two Wastelands is dedicated to Sesam, our dear friend and mentor who was taken from us too soon. Lead designers were Roy Batty and Jax Fireheart. Lead artist was Tricky Vane. Lead level designer was Tricky Vane. Programmers were Luthien Arian, Jesse Sparris, I1, Stewie A1, Roy Batty, C6. The Git programmers were Newcomb, Roy Batty, Jesse Sparris, Karxt, 1 Stewie, 1 A1, Luthien and Arian. The installer and tool programmer was Zilov. Scripters were Gribble Schnippet 8, Jax Fire, Rob Batty, Pintocat, Puppetron, Darth Man, HCGX Grill, Sesam, Darian Stevens, and Kizapat. The artists were Sesam, Jamila, Roy Batty, Rikako, Chuck Steele, the third type Matt Player, and Onville. Quest designer was Gribble Schnibbit. That's gonna be my kill team. That's gonna be my Gretchen Commando. Designers were Puppetron, Bath Badavin, Sesam, Dialogue Programming QA, Kazapat, Roy Batty, HCG, X Grill, Quality Assurance, Rise Wild, Roy Batty, Callan, Kazapat, Hairy Legs. Contributors were Dogtooth CG, Jokerine, Maydace, TG Spy, Hopper 31, Hermit 85, YG Sen, Thiaxlan, Rika HK LT, Sandbox 6, Redlaw 83, Yuki Chigai, Master Easter, Dandy Sarge 198, Grand Bulwark, Kuru Itzine, Zalandro, Hairy Logs, and the testers were Callan, TG Spy, Farstud, The Many, a very uncreative username / trooper. Thanks to John WD7, Osnius, Elminster, nice one, HLP, AM Pats, Behippo, Michael at Game of Poets, Gopher, Coffee. The webmasters were Evius Averto, Gribble Shinibit, 8, and Pinto Cat. Thank you ever so much to all of those who had made this mod what it was. An incredible thing that absolutely yeah, absolutely deserves to be seen by anyone who wants to play Fallout 3 in New Vegas on PC. Please download their mod. It was a bit of an arse ache for me as someone who doesn't really do mods. It took me like nearly an entire day to do it, but it was absolutely worth it to be able to play Fallout 3 in the New Vegas engine and see some quests fixed and all the rest of it in New Vegas. It remains, Fallout New Vegas remains not just one of the best written games of my generation, it's one of the best games I've ever played, and it still remains there. Fallout 3, absolutely love it. It's a lot better than I remember it to be. I still think that yes, you should play Fallout 3 first to see how New Vegas improves upon it, but you've just seen one of many ways of playing New Vegas, and yeah, perhaps one day we will do the Legion ending. I don't think there's much else from me. Yeah, just keep going for an hour, really. Yeah, it was very good. I'm very happy to have played it. Congratulations on playing in Vegas. Would you like to load a save prior to the Battle of Hoover Dam? Yes, I would. I think.
Are you ready to head for?
I think I just got to. Yeah. I think maybe we should just go home now. So there you have it. Yeah. Fallout New Vegas is. I'm just so glad to have played it. I'm just so glad this game was made in my lifetime, that I was introduced to it the way I was. I wouldn't change anything. Like, if I fell in love with this game when I first bought it, whatever, life would be so different. Like, I think this was like one of the first games that made me realise that all the choices that we make in our life lead us to these points. You know? That's why you can't separate the art from the artist, things like that, you know? It's like, without the things that dictate what happened in our life, you change the slightest thing, and, yeah. Yeah. But I love it. I love it. It's an amazing game. I'm glad I finished this playthrough. I will say that 100%. But I'm glad to have played it. Yeah. I'm really glad to have played this game. Let's see about getting back to DC, shall we? You reckon we can go home? Ah! That's why we can go to the DC Wasteland before. I got on the wrong train. Pretty sure I did anyway. Oh, I've got to purchase a ticket. Got a complimentary ticket. Yeah. What strange music. 2 weeks later. Yeah. They can fight the battle without me. Eddie has returned a Megaton. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Move along, please.
So yeah. But yeah, Fallout 3, I'm so glad to have played it again. And with this mod. Yes, thank you all to the makers of TTL. It is the way of playing this expansion. Let's go home. So yeah, I just can't believe it's done. However many hours it's been truly amazing. Yeah. Part my ass. Ah, they changed the password. Oh well. I'm sat there ready for the next person. I don't know why I'm saving the game, to be honest, because we're done. Yes. Thank you ever so much for sticking with me for this entire series. It has been a pleasure having you all watch this. It's been a real honor to play this game again. I might start Mass Effect tonight, just to get something out, and then that'll keep you guys going for another week. Otherwise, yeah, it has been a real pleasure playing this. If you've got any questions about Fallout for me or anything like that, you know, leave them here and then comment to the next videos, whatever. But yeah, I'm more than happy to talk of Fallout with anyone. And yeah, I just hope I've given you as comprehensive a look at Fallout as Fallout 3 in New Vegas as I possibly can. Thank you very much. Take care, and I shall see you. Well, I hope to see you again soon. Take care. It's that for now.